Coming up on this week's news, an electrician who abused his position to put secret cameras in customers' homes is jailed. A court slaps National Grid with a £3 million fine after a man receives a 33,000-volt electric shock. And can you put a distribution board on a ceiling? An Irish installation sparks a lively debate. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly in association with Solar Trade Sales, your easy one-stop shop for all things solar. Whether you're listening in the van, on-site or down at the wholesale counter, I'm Joe Robinson and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. And if you think you've spotted the two words that I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win a prize. A Scottish electrician who abused his position to put secret cameras in his customers' homes has been jailed for 2 years and 8 months. James Denholm admitted a string of offences which were carried out in Aberdeen. He used his technical skills to hide tiny cameras in people's bedrooms and bathrooms over a 10-year period. The crimes only came to light after one woman found a device hidden under her bed. A search warrant was granted, and it was then that all the material began to be found by police. One victim told BBC Scotland that what the tradesman had done to her and others was disgusting. Denholm sat in the dock with his head in his hands as the wrongdoing was detailed. At Aberdeen Sheriff Court, he admitted 15 offences involving 17 people at various addresses between 2013 and 2023. Prosecutor Alison Mackenzie said that Denholm had exploited a position of trust to gain access to his victims during an alarming pattern of behaviour. She said that he filmed several individuals during private moments in places where they should have felt safe. She hoped that the conviction would serve as a warning to others that the courts take crimes of this nature extremely seriously. Still in the courts, the National Grid has been fined more than £3 million after its failures led to a man receiving an electric shock of 33,000 volts. The incident left father of two Justin Hollins with life-changing injuries. Hollins was replacing bolts on a pylon in Pontypridd in South Wales when he received the shock, causing 40% burns to his body, arms and legs. He is set to remain a burns patient for the rest of his life. National Grid Electricity Distribution South Wales plc and 4Power Limited both received fines in relation to the incident, which happened in December 2020. Cardiff Crown Court heard that Hollins was wearing a climbing harness and left hanging on the pylon for some time before being rescued by his colleagues. An investigation by the Health and Safety Executive found that 4Power Limited, who are based at Idenshall Hall Farm in Cheshire, failed to properly plan and assess the risk. Had this been done, it would have identified that the arms of the pylon were too short to do the work safely, as it was impossible to maintain the specified safety distances to industry standards. National Grid Electricity Distribution South Wales plc, based at Avonbank Feeder Road, Bristol, failed to ensure that the electricity was off in order to do this work safely on the pylon. 4Power Limited pleaded guilty to breaching the Health and Safety at Work Act and were fined £80,000 in order to pay costs of £14,000. National Grid Electricity Distribution South Wales plc pleaded guilty to breaching Regulation 14 of the Electricity at Work regs and were fined £3.2 million with £20,000 costs. HSE Inspector Rhys Hughes said that Hollins was lucky to be alive. He said what he found frustrating in incidents like these was that if a safe system of work had been in place before the incident, his injuries would have been prevented. Now, Solar and Storage Live is just around the corner and we are going to be there. On the 24th and 25th of September, we'll be joining E&W sponsors SunSync on their stand at the NEC in Birmingham, and then on day 3, the 26th of September, we'll be hanging out with VTAC on their stand. If you'd like to come and say hello, then book your tickets now, and we'll see you there. There's a link, as ever, in the show notes. In other news, the trade has been reacting this week to the publication of the report into the Grenfell fire. The blaze in a London tower block in 2017 led to the deaths of 72 residents. The 1,700-page document into the tragedy says that the way building safety is managed in England and Wales is seriously defective. The Electrical Contractors Association claimed that a fire on the scale of Grenfell could happen again as a result of building work being done by underqualified workers. The ECA said that the most fundamental thing to public safety is the competency of installers, but many people were claiming to be competent electricians despite having trained, in some cases, for only a few weeks. The ECA said that now is the time to stop messing around with low levels of electrical and fire safety competency. ECA Director Paul Reeve said it was high time to say a final goodbye to so-called 5-week wonders. Those who complete short courses may undertake work for which they may be insufficiently qualified. Reeve said that we need to avoid settling for lower competencies, which risks another major fire tragedy. The ECA is now calling for accredited third-party certification of all enterprises and a requirement that all installers have level 2 or 3 off-qual regulated and competence-based qualifications. It's also advocating for technical apprenticeships for new entrants. The industry should use the ECS card, and electricians should embrace CPD learning to stay up to date with the latest regs and other developments. Finally, all installers should have core knowledge of fire safety in buildings with standardised and mandatory training. And just circling back to CPDs to add a quick bit of mansplaining, check out our free training packages on the know-how page of eFIXX.co.uk. Each one counts as an hour to your annual CPD requirement, and we're about to launch our 40th package. New data out this week has crowned electricians the 4th best paid trade in the UK, with an average salary of £37,088. TradeFix Direct analysed salary data from recruitment agency Indeed to reveal the highest paying trade jobs in the UK. However, the amount sparks earn varies enormously depending on where in the UK they're located. Electricians have the highest earning potential in Westminster in London at over £40,000 a year, while the lowest earning potential is in Ripon in Yorkshire at just over £30,000 per year. The most lucrative trade of all is carpenters, who earn £45,482 on average a year. It's followed by gas engineers and scaffolders with average pay packets of £40,000 and £38,000 respectively. The least well paid is plasterers, who earn just £27,000, well below the national average salary of £35,000. So now we know the next time you head out to the Greasy Spoon cafeteria, brekkies on the chippies. A reminder that Amendment 4 of the wiring regs is currently out for consultation. You can give your view on the changes to BS 7671 until Sunday, the 3rd of November 2024. A long time in the making, the revision is designed to match us with European standards. It includes requirements for secondary batteries and generating sets, and it outlines the procedures for functional earthing and bonding for computer systems. And for the first time, it includes a technology called Power over Ethernet. This is the use of data cables to deliver energy to low voltage devices such as LED lighting. The tech is set to get a boost this week with the news that wireless audio giant Sonos is making its debut with a hardwired connection. The Era 100 Pro wired platform uses a Power over Ethernet structure. The single Ethernet cable delivers both power and top quality audio, simplifying the installation by removing the need for a separate electrical connection. It's being made available to Sonos partners specialising in professional installation. I've popped the link to that in the show notes. And finally, can you put a distribution board on the ceiling? Or more to the point, should you ever put a disc board on a ceiling? An online debate has been sparked by an installation in Ireland. It was spotted in an Airbnb property by Charlie Street, who was travelling around the Emerald Isle this summer. He promptly posted it to an Electricians group on Facebook, where opinion was divided on the practice. It appears to meet the accessibility requirements of the regulations, but does that make it legit? Let us know your view in the comments below. And our usual reminder that we're in the market for your stories, your projects and your recommendations, as we'd like to share them with the wider eFIXX community. In September, we're focusing on commercial lighting, tools and workwear, and of course, the Safe for September campaign. Send us pictures of your installs or let us know if you've come across any new kit that's making your job easier or indeed safer. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partners. We couldn't make the news without you. First up, it's the people who've created the Swiss Army knife of solar inverters along with all-weather batteries. Very much the Boy Scouts of the solar industry, it's SunSync. Up next, they're resolving ventilation problems one property at a time, offering a simplistic ventilation design service and high-quality products made right here in the UK, breathing fresh air into your home, its environment. Next, they're the brand that pride themselves on keeping people close to what's important. With the world's most recognisable doorbell chime, it's Ring. And do you want a no-fuss lighting solution that's packed with value? Then try the EcoLink range from Signify, combining value for money with top-end Signify quality. Now a business that will literally bend over backwards to give you first-class service on the trade-only supply of signal reception and distribution, custom install, home automation and security products for all residential and commercial projects. It's all trade. The best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products, it's Doncaster Cables. With an incredible range of equipment from EV charge points through industrial sockets and switches to kit for explosive areas, plus they supplied gear for a Campari factory, so they'll always have a place in my heart. It's Scarmy. Big thanks to you all. We really appreciate your ongoing support for the news. If you think you know the words that I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all the correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFIXX goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after about lunchtime on the Thursday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition. There was a bit of a change for last week as one of the words was actually a phrase. Now there were a lot of people in the ballpark of getting it right, but only a very few got the exact right combination. The word was gumdrops and the phrase was very demure, very mindful. If you have any objections about the use of a phrase for the challenge word, then please feel free to send us a complaint. Address your correspondence to Challenge Words Committee, care of Ray Maloney, head ENW scriptwriter, the smoking room of some gentlemen's club in Mayfair. It'll get to them. Anyway, the winner from the last episode is snail_cactus. So well done to you. Snail, I guess. Make sure you click the Get Involved link in the show notes to claim your prize. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly in association with Solar Trade Sales, your easy one-stop shop for all things solar. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque-calibrated arm.